management practices.
He had the flair to make everything look simple to accomplish, even to an ordinary mortal. A powerhouse of energy and enthusiasm, his repertoire of achievements in education is amazing. Whether it was the launching of the Chartered Financial Analyst program to make true financial management available to the Indian youth way back in 1985, or constantly updating it to suit emerging needs of the Indian financial markets, starting new programs for the changing needs of the reforming and liberalized Indian markets, or redrafting the curriculum for an existing program to align it with the changing business environment, he sailed through them with effortless ease of a true genius. N.J. Yasaswy possessed a remarkable sense of social responsibilities, aesthetics, scientific and intellectual temper, and cultural sentiments. What came naturally to him was his ability to make gold out of dust. A seemingly useless idea or an innocuous thing would spark a business model in his mind. And he was a great practitioner in possibility thinking. In that sense, he was a great economic naturalist, allocating capital to get optimal and even phenomenal returns with scarce resources. A gifted communicator, N.J. Yasaswy masterfully articulated the need for a new university with government authorities and went on to establish universities with competent faculty, duly supported by requisite infrastructure, designed a campus for a newly approved university, challenging great odds in his own inimitable style, bequeathing the curated ideas that changed the educational scenario, and his worthy emissaries emulated his ideals, touching the peaks of success and turning their mentors' dreams into vibrant realities. In the last 2 years, he started several new projects. Turning to his roots, giving his mother tongue and traditions a fillip, he ventured to promote Carnatic music, established B.Ed colleges, and also a unique initiative called C.P. Brown Academy, which is today successfully bringing timeless works of Telugu arts and literature within reach of the current generation. NJY achieved so much at just 61, and yet there were so many projects at hand. His entrepreneurial zeal never diminished. For his unrivaled contributions to education, Sri Yasaswy truly deserves a place in the history of the business scenario of Andhra Pradesh and Indian education in general for his life's work. Thousands of employees of the ICFAI group, including software and thinking, have some connection or the other with ICFAI. Either they worked at ICFAI or they studied at ICFAI and its associate wings. The causes he expounded were noble, and it is the duty of his protégés to carry them forward. This is the greatest tribute one can pay to him, standing as living testimonies of his life's mission. Software and management professionals, thought leaders, and thinking elite have some connection or the other with ICFAI. Either they worked at ICFAI or they studied at ICFAI and its associate wings. The causes he expounded were noble.
We are truly blessed to study in this great institution founded by Shri N.J. Yasaswy Garu. Now, I would like to request the Chief Guest, Professor S. Raghunath Garu, and our Vice Chancellor, Professor T. Kotireddy Garu, to kindly grace the stage. I now request our student volunteer to welcome our chief guest with a bouquet. I now request our student volunteer to welcome our Vice Chancellor with a bouquet. I would now like to request our Vice Chancellor, Professor T. Kotireddy Garu, to deliver the opening remarks and introduce our chief guest to the audience.
Respected Dr. C. Rangarajan, Chancellor ICFAI Foundation for Higher Education, Professor S. Raghunath, Chairman Academy of International Business South Asia Board and former Dean IIM Bangalore, Madam Srimati N. Shobharani Yasaswy, Chairperson of ICFAI Society, Shri V.R. Shankara Garu, President of the ICFAI Society, distinguished advisors of the ICFAI Group, Professor J. Mahendra Reddy Garu, Professor O.R.S. Garu and Sri T.P. Das Garu, and distinguished members of the Executive Council and Academic Council, Professor S. Vijayalakshmi, Registrar IFHE, Directors and Deans of the constituent units of IFHE, faculty, staff and students. And good afternoon to you all. And it gives me immense pleasure and a deep sense of privilege to welcome you all to the 14th Sri N.J. Yasaswy Memorial Lecture titled The Legacy Leadership Building Institutions That Transform Society. The memorial lectures are instituted in the fond memory of Sri N.J. Yasaswy Garu, whose life and legacy continue to inspire us. Sri N.J. Yasaswy was not just as an educationist, he was a national builder in the truest sense. He believed that education must go beyond degrees and disciplines. It must shape character, sharpen intellect, and inspire responsibility. He had an extraordinary ability to combine academic rigor with practical relevance. Long before employability, industry alignment, and global output became fashionable themes, he was already advocating for them. His foresight helped build institutions that were not only centers of learning, but centers of excellence. The Memorial Lecture Series stands as a continuing dialogue with ideals. Each year, as we invite distinguished speakers, we renew our commitment to the standards Sri N.J. Yasaswy Garu envisioned and the aspirations he nurtured. As we commence today's lecture, let us not merely remember Sri N.J. Yasaswy Garu, let us reaffirm our resolve to carry forward his vision with renewed dedication. Now today, we are honored to have with us a distinguished academician, an eminent scholar, and an inspiring thought leader, Professor S. Raghunath Garu, who has graciously agreed to deliver this memorial lecture. It is a matter of great happiness that Professor S. Raghunath Garu is with us today. Professor S. Raghunath is Chairman, Academy of International Business, South Asia Board. He has been a Professor of Strategy at IIM Bangalore for 3 decades. He was the Chairperson, Center for Corporate Governance at IIM Bangalore until March 2021. During his tenure at IIM Bangalore, Professor Raghunath served as Chairperson, Strategy Area, Dean in charge of Administration at IIM Bangalore, Chairperson, International Student Exchange Program, Chairperson, NSR CEL and PGP Committee member. Professor Raghunath's research has been published in the Journal of International Management, International Business Review, Journal of Business Research, International Journal of Research on Hospitality and Health Administration, Asian Review of Public Administration, the Journal of Corporate Citizenship, and IIMB Management Review. He has also authored 47 cases, 17 book chapters, 37 conference papers, 39 articles in popular business press, 9 government policy and supported research projects. Professor Raghunath's research areas include MNC headquarters subsidiaries relationship, structuring and managing alliances and joint ventures, issues in company boards, foreign direct investments, managing and sustaining growth of IT companies in India, artificial intelligence and analytics-based business strategy, strategic management in media and entertainment, etc. Professor Raghunath has co-authored a book, International Business Strategy, Perspectives on Implementation in Emerging Markets. Professor Raghunath has been an independent director on the boards of Vijaya Bank, Canara Bank, KIDCL, K2 Technologies, Ware India, National Venture Capital Fund, Spire Technologies, Swaraj Technologies, and founder member on the Governing Council of Cloud Computing Innovation Council of India. He is the member of the Advisory Council of College of Supervisors, Reserve Bank of India, a member of the Board of Studies of the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, member of the FDEC at IIM Visakhapatnam, and former member of Board of Management of the ICFAI Foundation for Higher Education. Now, on behalf of ICFAI Foundation for Higher Education, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to Professor S. Raghunath Garu. And we are deeply grateful for your presence and your willingness to share your valuable insights with us. I am confident that today's lecture will stimulate thought, inspire dialogue, and enrich our academic discourse. With these words, I once again welcome our esteemed speaker and request him to kindly deliver the 14th NJ Yasaswy Memorial Lecture. Thank you, one and all.
Respected Shobharani Garu, respected Shankara, respected Mahendra Reddy, and all of you very distinguished members of the ICFAI community, and my very dear students. You are asking, how are we? You are very dear students, you don't even know us. The point here is a professor always teaches because he loves to engage with students. Otherwise, you don't get on to this profession. So I would say that I am very deeply honored, very delighted, and feeling very privileged to be invited to this very, very solemn and a very memorable day when we remember the founder of our institution. My memory goes back to times when Shri N.J. Yasaswy used to teach at IIM Ahmedabad. The strategy department head told me that you are a bachelor and you don't leave the campus unless you have your dinner, which was my view. I would not leave till the mess finishes in the evening and I would not go. So he says, you are anyway going to be there. And Yasaswy Garu finishes his teaching at around 6:30, 6:45. So would you be around? And that is how I first met him. Many years ago, even when my wife did not know me, we knew each other. What I mean is I was a bachelor. And I very distinctly remember that every day he would say, let us take a walk out of the campus. And we would walk. I think those of you who have been at IIM Ahmedabad and know Ahmedabad, there is a place called PRL, Physical Research Laboratories, which has to do with physics, and which is at a 90-degree perpendicular to the gate of IIM Ahmedabad. And we would both of us would walk. And obviously, he was somebody who was always full of ideas. There was absolutely no gossip. Always about ideas, always about different points of view on what is going on which is relevant to us professionally and personally. And I had a very bad habit that when I walk, I would like tax to be paid. And you cannot imagine what that tax is, but many of you are so young that you will vibe with me when I say that on the way back, I will insist with him that we would stop at the Vadilal ice cream parlor. And those of you who have lived in Ahmedabad or in Gujarat, Vadilal those days, the only way they kept ahead of competition was by declaring on a very nice, small standis outside the flavor of the day. So they would change the flavor, one flavor every day. And I would insist with Mr. Yasaswy that, if you don't mind, and he would indulge me and we would walk. The reason I say this is that I remember this so very fondly because just as the flavor of the day changed for ice creams, the flavor and the theme of his conversations changed every day. And I was always inspired, delighted as a young man, unfettered at heart and in mind to engage with him. Then I remember I went to Stanford. I was coming back. I had done work on high-tech strategy there with all the semiconductor and the software companies, and I was coming back. And I called him and I asked him, shall I go back to IIM Ahmedabad? What was his answer? Mr. Sudhakar, what do you think? He said. He said, just look at, obviously, you look at his career and his intelligence and, he's just a super duper man. He said, you see, those days, remember that this was pre-software. He said, you worked in Silicon Valley. You should go to a city where Silicon Valley will develop in India. And when I look back, you should clap for him, not for me, for him. And, all of us are so fond of alphabets, right? Alphabets always begin with letter A. So, IIM Ahmedabad. And I say this because some of you will vibe with me. It was very difficult to choose B than A in my head. But, I don't know, I really worshipped his ability to be 360 in his orientation. He was never in a linear way, never. All our conversations. And I said, now Yasaswy Garu has said this to me, Shobharani Garu, you don't know this. I said, I am not going to Ahmedabad, I am going to Bangalore. And till today, sir, I have not regretted one bit that I made this resolution to myself, and obviously all of you know that Bangalore became the hub of anything that happened. And even today, while we are very high-tech in technology, we can assure you that if you're traveling 20 kilometers, you will take 2 hours. So, apart from that, it has been a great existence, and all of that goes to him. And this is a personal thing, but I wanted to mention to you the kind of influence that he had. Many of us achieve personal success in our lives. Some of us create organizations, right? Companies, entities, organizations. There are very few, very rare human beings who create institutions that endure generations. And one more tribute and clap to him, that he was such a successful chartered accountant, cost accountant, gold medalist in both, please remember that. I think he did it in the same year, if I remember, right? Same year. Can you do that? Double gold medal in both? Let me see how many of you can do that. I mean, what I'm saying, yeah, it is a huge accomplishment. See, he did many things. If you read his life, you will understand a little bit more about him. But what was so thrilling for me to understand from him was, he said that I must take my father's aspiration and my aspiration to bring quality education to areas in this country where it is not available. So if you look at among the 11 universities, right, you started in Tripura, you started in Dehradun, many other places. That was all because of his view that he must create institutions that India needs. Now, some of you students must be thinking, what kind of a boring lecture is this professor giving? My point is that you are all students of management, and I want to ask you, is there a difference between organizations and institutions? What would you say? Some of you are looking at your phone. I don't know what are you looking at. Are you trying to find the answer on Google or ChatGPT, which is the flavor of the year? What's the difference? Organization and institution. What are organizations? Oh, a big deal. Organize is something which is organized, is called organization, right? You have systems, you have processes, you have quality control, you have governance, you have financial sustainability, and you make sure that everything works. That is called an organization. What's an institution? What is that based on? Sorry? Exactly. The purpose that you are trying to deliver, which is obviously based on the credibility that you built, and therefore the culture that you create. Families are organizations, but remember, families are also institutions. Think about this. People always say in a very casual way, you remember, what is his blood is or her blood is, or what family are they from. You understand this? Families are institutions. Organizations need not be institutions. There will be organizations to churn out that one thing that they are looking at in life. So the ability today, when you have agentic AI, you have ChatGPT, you have everything, this whole business of saying that I have knowledge is not going to work any further. Remember that, and all of you know this. I'm not joking, you know it. That this pride of analytical ability, the pride of knowing, is all being decimated and removed by these wonderful things which are not human and artificial in nature called AI. So in this world, what is the definition of being? Earlier we used to call ourselves Homo sapiens. What are Homo sapiens? People who know. Now, slowly we are getting into the arena of Homo sentients. What is being sentient? Beings which are experiencing. And soon enough, we will be pushed into the arena of being homo conscious, that our consciousness is what is going to define all that happens. Let me explain this a bit. Institutions are around because they want to improve the social fabric, the economic fabric, the intellectual fabric, relational fabric, everything. Therefore, institutions are around. So, in a world where intelligence is available for analysis and rationality, what is the role of a human being? Think about this. Business school, sitting here, you looking at finance, you're looking at strategy, you're looking at operations, you're looking at whatever, you're looking at HR, whatever, organizational behavior, another big challenge. No more all human beings working with each other. It is going to be agentic AI, not just AI remembering human prompts. Once a human being gives a prompt, it will produce whatever results, and then the system will take over, that algorithm will again reprompt, and the agents will do all work together, and human beings are out of the loop. So if this is going to be the emerging arena, what do you think is the role of human beings? Many people think, oh, lut gaye, mar gaye, gone, finished. Nonsense. Why do I say nonsense? So, a few months back, we had a Bangalore International Film Festival. As Professor was mentioning, I also teach a course on strategic management of entertainment industry for the longest time. I mean, longest in the sense, almost 15 years. So they had a panel on how AI will disrupt every entity in the value chain of entertainment, starting from producers, directors, actors, everybody, cinematographers, whole host of guys, technical guys, all of that. There are 4 panelists, 3 of them from the industry. I was the non-industry guy. And they said whatever they said in terms of what was happening. And I just stood up and asked everybody, when did computers start flying commercial aircrafts? You can Google, all of you. When did it start flying? When did algorithms start flying commercial aircraft? In the 70s, 19, some of you were not even born. Or many of you were not even born. Have pilots disappeared from the cockpit? No. So this obsession saying that, oh, AI will go and ruin this humanity, in my view, that is a whole lot of fear. Human beings are the consumers and the producers of that intelligence. Remember that. And therefore, when I was in that panel, all I said was that it may be true that in all departments of entertainment, content and production, all these AI tools will be available. The ultimate consumer of that entertainment product and content is a human being, not a robot, not another AI entity. It is us. So how come we all feel that when intelligence, which is artificial, is doing a whole lot of things that we were doing, will actually remove us from any meaningful employment and contribution? And the answer is, if you think very deeply, is no, it will not happen. It will only rejig, reformat, reorganize organizations where human beings will learn how to utilize AI agents for whatever the purpose of the organization is. So when we think about the legacy leadership and we think about institutions which actually transform societies, and Yasaswy Garu did it in his time when regulation was so strong against any private entity in this country. All of us who have been party to this understand how difficult it is to even start it. And when his mission was to bring quality education to people from all over the country, he also, I don't know whether many of you know this, but some of you probably know this, that in summer vacations, he would sponsor, mobilize, organize the stay of professors from institutions around the country and offer them ICFAI. You had a lot of those, they were easier to follow than textbooks, right? So what did you call them? You called them, sorry? Derivatives. And he would just gift these to all these professors. He would coach them, he would train them, he would offer them all of that, and they would go back to improve the standards of education around the world. From that world which I am talking about, the way he did it. Today, what do you think is our contribution in education, and as people who will graduate very soon? What are you going to be doing? Because he was always a forward thinker, always about the future, never about the present, never. Huge risk taker, but with a clear vision and determination, as all of you know, so those of you who worked with him understand him. What do you think it is? It is, remember this, it is judgment in scenarios which have uncertainty. How many of you have watched the movie Sully, S-U-L-L-Y? Nobody is lifting. I said something. How many of you have watched the movie Sully? You are only smiling at me. Nobody has watched it. Okay, come on. Now, go to one of your OTTs, look for S-U-L-L-Y. Great movie on a real true story. I think the captain of that flight which took off from New York, whose name was Captain Sullenberg, and they reduced his name to a Sully, S-U-L-L-Y. 90 seconds after the takeoff, a flock of geese, birds, hit both the engines. It has never happened in aviation history that, a plane will collapse like that. And both the engines were burnt out. Many radioed back, control tower, ATC said, return back to the airport, LaGuardia, or go to Tetraboro, the two airports. The simulation, computer simulation said, yeah, go in there. But Captain Sullenberg had flown several thousand hours before. He knew the engine thrust. He knew the gliding gradient. He knew the number of buildings and human beings we were below. And he also understood. This is like Google Maps. I don't know how many of you have used Google Maps. Google Map, if you use and say you're reaching Shankarapalli from the middle of town in Hyderabad, it will show you first, how many minutes? 60 minutes. Then as you are approaching high-tech city, slowly 60 will move to 72. And then you go further down, which is one more crossing, 12 kilometers before here. It will move to 97. So you are thinking, how is it happening, right? So what did Sully do? He overruled the algorithm and he landed that aircraft in Hudson River. You can check this, it is there on Google, it's a news item. And what did the Committee on Air Transport Safety do? Hauled him up for inquiry for negligence, which would have caused loss of lives. All 155 passengers who were safe after he landed there. By the way, that wonderful river has not enough water, so, it is called a river, but it is like a pond. But anyway, he was smart, so he landed there. So in his interrogation, you must see this movie. You must, to understand this whole thing which is emerging for you as we go ahead. When he is being questioned cross-examined. He says, all that is fine. But please understand that in my mind, this was my plane and my 155 passengers. And when I knew from my past experience that algorithms know only what they know, I want you to actually add 30 more seconds in your calculations in their algorithm and see what happens. And when they added, the entire inquiry committee came to a conclusion, you are absolutely right, you would have crashed. Oh, yeah. So finally, what is it? We will be prized for judgment over all algorithms which actually depend on their data lake, on having enough guardrails to avoid hallucination, and a whole host of limitations on what it already has. So the human being, even in that context, is an important element. The second piece, which is becoming very evident with this geopolitical situation which is emerging in the world. These poor AI agents are obedient supplicants of the unintelligent human beings who operate them. You understand? So, I don't know whether I can tell you this, but you people don't look like people who would have ever read a periodical magazine called Chanda Mama. Have you heard? How many of you read Chanda Mama in your growing years? I know the front rows always will raise their hand. I'm looking at the back rows. Huh? Some of you read? Oh, very nice. So there was one story there about an ashram in Rishikesh, which was on the other side of Lakshman Jhula. How many of you have been to Rishikesh? Raise your hands again. Some of you there. Thank you very much. The others have to go. Okay, very nice place for trekking, picnic, vacation, all that. One side of the bank is higher because the Ganga is flowing from the Himalayan range, right? So it's coming down like that. Rishikesh is at that gradient. It's coming down. There are rocks. So one side of the bank is high, where the railway station, bus station, all those are there. If you cross the Lakshman Jhula, which I think there is one more bridge now, and you go on the other side, that bank is lower. Are you understanding the scenario? One bank is higher, Ganga is flowing, the other bank is lower, there is a bridge. And during monsoon, the story goes that the water in the Ganges began to increase, and it came inside the ashram. So the Guruji said to all his disciples, please pick up anything that belongs to the ashram, make an inventory, put it onto our bullock cart. Let's all climb into it and let's go through these rushing waters and go into safety to the higher bank onto the other side. But he said, I have one important commandment for all of you. And they all paid attention. And he said, remember that when the cart is going across those rocks in those flooding waters, something might fall which is already there and belongs to the ashram and on your inventory. And if it falls into the raging waters, you will have to stop the cart, bullock cart. One of you will have to be brave enough to jump into those cold, icy waters. And you should go and retrieve the stuff. And they all listened to Guruji after all. So they all got inside. Cart started moving through the raging waters. Soon enough, the wooden wheel hit a rock. And a kamandalu fell down. You understand kamandalu, guys? How many of you don't understand what a kamandalu is? Sorry? They don't know, huh? Do you know pitcher of water these gardeners have, na? Pani lete usme aise dalte. Pitcher. So you have never gone to all these sadhus, maharajas and all these. They will always have a kamandalu to take water or rice or whatever they are. So kamandalu fell down. So they all shouted, stop! The cart stop! And one of the brave fellows jumped into the icy cold waters, went and retrieved the kamandalu, and he was also brought back before he got hypothermia. You know, you can die of such ice cold water. And then the cart proceeded. It soon was in the middle of the river. The breeze was great. Always in the middle of the river, if you stand on a bridge, the breeze is superb. So the breeze was great. The Guruji fell asleep. Again, the wheel hit a large rock. And this time, the Guruji fell into the water. And he said, help! And all of them looked at the inventory. What did he say? Commandment. That which belongs to this ashram and which has been inventorized by all of you. If it ever falls, even the smallest of things, you shall scream, stop the cart, and then retrieve. Now they were in Hindi they say duvidha. Duvidha means dilemma. Should we go against the Guruji and pick him up? Because he is not in the list and according to his commandment not to be done. That is called algorithmic decision making. You understood this, you guys? So today the nonsense that is happening in this world is not because of these poor things which we all say is all because the drone is because nonsense. Those are all slaves, boss. It's the same story. Compliance to decision rules which have already been automated in the head of human beings. And they behave like this. Are we understanding? Ethical and moral standards today are much more valuable than the degrees that we all hold. I'm saying we. Remember, I'm not talking about you all of us. No. That's all gone. Do we ask the question on any matter? No, it's going to be serious. I'm saying this not because I want to deliver a lecture to you. It's a serious matter. Do we ask a question with whatever algorithmic decision, conclusion, recommendation is? Why does this matter at all to what we are looking at? Who are we actually trying to serve to whatever we will do? And what is the future that we are building? Every action of ours in the present will decide the future. Everybody says, oh, there is a past. Then live in the past. Now, why did you grow up here? Remain like the strange case of Benjamin Button. Have you seen that movie? The guy is born old and becomes a baby. So in this world, this nonsense of living in the past, not being able to take the present, and not being able to use artificial intelligence to collaborate with the human intelligence to deliver societal transformation, for human beings to be first alive to experience life. In my view, to you, all of you who are going to have a career in your entire life, please remember that that's the first ever mission in whatever you undertake. Forget everything else. Are we getting this? Don't worry about algorithms. Don't worry about AI. They will not do anything to you. They will actually help you. You are the boss. You are the one who decides in areas where there is uncertainty. You are the ones who will have the moral and the ethical compass to say, yes, we go ahead or we don't. And the third piece in the story is about the creativity and the imagination that we will all have time for. In this world, if we are creating institutions which make human life better in any part of the society, in any part of the world, irrespective of race, religion, or whatever else, it will be the aspect of unleashing creativity and imagination of human beings, which will break through the algorithmic vicious cycle. What is a vicious cycle in algorithms? It feeds on the data that it has. You are the ones who are going to create new data. If you are going to be always guided by them, you will never have anything which is innovative, which is in terms of a prospect, very different from the kind of existence that we need in society today. So I don't want to go further because you are thinking, when am I going to shut up? So I'll do that very fast. All I want to say is that Mr. N.J. Yasaswy, through his life, could have had a wonderful life all for himself and his family. He did not do that. And I think that inspiration from the founder as your role model should guide you in your lives. And remember that this world, once upon a time, always looked at input-output. Then it went to say that not input-output, it is input-outcome. Today, it is a world which is saying it is not input-outcome, it is what is the impact. You understand impact? What is the impact that you create? Is that my phone? What is the impact that I create from where I am? You say, oh, this is too very abstract. Simple thing. Who do you think is A.R. Rahman? Huh? Sorry? If you go and check his antecedents in terms of entering film music, where was he specializing? Sound engineer. He could separate strands of various octaves of music. He would get them all at a level, a decibel at which they will be heard, different instruments. And his claim to fame came because one director had a fallout with a music director, very famous guy, some of you know probably. And this young man was given the opportunity, and then everything is history. So what do musicians and sound engineers do differently? How many of you have studied music, or you play music, or you sing? How many of you? Nobody here in music? No? Nobody studied music? Okay, very shy. I will not ask you to sing or play. Now when you record something that you play or you sing, when it is replayed back, what will you listen to? Your own singing or your own instrument or everybody's instrument and singing? Obviously yours. Because how am I coming across? Correct? But a music producer, a sound recordist is thinking, all these musicians are there, there is a vocalist. How is the whole thing creating a higher level of impact on the audience than what each of them is playing? So in this world of human plus AI, I sincerely hope, taking inspiration from your founder, that all of you will think about being A.R. Rahmans in your own sense, that you're always thinking about what is the impact which is coming from all the functions, all the areas in which we participate. Wish you all the very best.
On behalf of all of us, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Professor S. Raghunath Garu, for his truly thought-provoking address and for so graciously sharing his personal memories of our revered founder, which has enriched today's memorial lecture. Thank you, sir. We shall now open the floor for a few questions.
First of all, I want to congratulate you for an excellent lecture. I have enjoyed. You have inspired not only the younger generation, but see, like me, I am inspired. I had the privilege of working with Mr. Yasaswy for about 4 years in the then Administrative Staff College of India, and we became good friends, and never we knew that we were going to together later in life for a longer period. Sir, I like to, my question is very simple. Mr. Yasaswy has made a tremendous contribution by starting so many institutions, including this, one of the most reputed one. What is it that this institution can do in terms of offering their executive development programs or mostly BBA, MBA degrees to include in their curriculum? We can have legacy leaders, something close to Yasaswy, if not equal to Yasaswy. Number two, the buzzword these days is what the word given by the Prime Minister, Viksit Bharat. What kind of a legacy lead? So many people talk about it. This is the way we can arrive at Viksit Bharat. Scientists, you call him. This is the deep technology we have to do to realize Viksit Bharat. What would you like to say is in terms of the legacy leadership we should have so as to enable the vision of our Prime Minister, namely realization of Viksit Bharat by 2047. Thank you, sir. Yes, next one.
My name is Naeem. I teach here. Thank you so much for this very fascinating memorial lecture. Thank you for bringing those very lovely anecdotes as well. And I feel really proud to be part of this great institution. My question is twofold. The first one is related to the legacy institutions per se. How do you ensure that the legacy institutions are going to stay relevant in the rapid changing technological progress and also going to deliver to the society at large? That's one. The other one is about the leadership per se. How do we also ensure that there is a smooth transition of the leadership for the legacy institution? Because we don't see any further leaders who are emerging from this institution. That's the one. Thank you so much.
So if you look at the first question of yours, see the model for, if you are looking at educational institution and talking about legacy, model so far has been all these institutions are knowledge transmitters. Now if you look at our young people behind, you all know who does their assignments, who does any question that you give them to come prepared with, who does their PowerPoints, who does their, we know all the answers as professors, who does it right? They also know. So this business of knowledge transmitters, in my view, is gone, finished. Now these institutions have to move to the point of knowledge navigation, navigating. Google Map will only show you the road you have to take. After that, what happens? You have to drive on that damn road. with all these fellows who have license, but they do everything which shows that they don't have a license. They do everything which is wrong in terms of driving rules. Navigation today, sir, is based on character, is based on ethics, is based on values as to why you are a human being on the surface of this earth. What the hell are we doing as a human being? If once upon a time we were thought we were brilliant because I've used a damn brain for exactly what these things are doing now, storing knowledge, drawing on it, analyzing it, telling the world I am great, will not work anymore. So, sir, when you ask legacy, legacy is, his legacy was people are completely illiterate and unaware. He took that context, though regulation, though the environment, though financing, and a whole host of licensing regimes were not in his favor. So he is in my way, I always have very dear thoughts about him. In my view, he is like a tunnel boring machine. He was. There are rocks. Created a tunnel. Yes, I'm telling you, we have all been with him in his times, and I know how difficult it was. Those days, knowledge transmission. Give knowledge, transmit, everybody say thank you very much. Now these guys are not going to say thank you very much. You ask them anyway, you have knowledge, because you have other ways of finding out. Now what's your damn decision? Ask them that. When you say decision, they will start leaving the classroom. Or they will look at you as you spoke in a foreign language. Right? Because that's the higher level challenge. What is to be known on a damn Google map is known to me. Now let's see how you drive, yaar. Phad jati hai. You understand? In Indian roads, come to Bangalore, all of you guys. I'll see how good your license is. Open challenge. Soon I am going to host a new thing. World record in driving excellence. Come and drive in Bangalore for 30 days. And we'll see whether your car touches another or somebody else dents you. No more accidents involving you. So, sir, navigation is a higher level, sir. Don't ever try and teach these guys anything out of memory or that which these guys can read. Never do that now. Do the opposite. Say, now tell me what have you got from your chat GPT, and they will be very happy to show you. But they don't like that you said such a thing. But they will do it. So they will show you. Next, ask them the question, what is your decision given that this is the analysis? Let's see now after that. Google Map is available, now you have to drive. So, sir, going forward, it is going to become very interesting. This business of aggregation will not deliver. No. The business of not being a manager, but a decision-making architect. You understand? We have architects creating buildings. These, all these agentic AI will throw all kinds of things at these poor fellows. They will come unsuspectingly into an organization. Those chappies would have by then deployed every other thing they have to deploy because the competitors are deploying. They got to know how to take the human interface with these bots and whatever is available and sew together a business delivery system. That's not a joke. That's same as driving on Indian roads with Google Map. Did I answer your question? Haji. So they're great fun. Now you go to class, don't show them any slides. Go to class only with questions and ask them. Great fun. They will also like it. You know, by the way, they are very, they want excitement in life, right? Excitements come in many ways. One way is to change this whole thing and say, you guys come and present, and I want at the end of it to know why the hell you will be able to make a decision when there is so much of uncertainty and imperfect information. Great fun. I think your life is going to be more interesting than before, rolling out lectures to these guys and giving them cases and questions in advance which they will not answer and get something else to answer. That's my view. Did I say something which is not okay with you? Is that okay?
Would anyone else like to ask a question?
Which one, sir? Sir, you had a question. I thought you had a commentary. Give the microphone. I thought he was just no. Tell me.
My question was,
Yes.
you see, Mr. Yasaswy has done a great contribution by starting the 17, 18 institutions which are
Yeah.
now existing.
Correct.
Of which this is a prime institution.
Correct.
So what is it that we can do? Because you have also mentioned a transformed society.
Correct.
So what is it that we can do? If not, we may not be able to create SSVs,
Absolutely.
but a near SSVs in terms of the two types of courses we offer, executive development programs as well as regular BBA, MBA programs. You see? And
Got it.
the second part was for the Viksit Bharat, which is a buzzword in the entire country. What kind of a leadership we should provide? You see, you have given some hints in terms of truth, sincerity, that should get highest priority. This is the question.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Sorry, I misunderstood your earlier thing. I was a very erudite commentary, so I let it go. So, now I get what you're asking. So, all of you understand that today having only functional expertise will not help. So, if you are specializing in finance, marketing, or you're doing operations or strategy, that will not help. What you need to do is to create a coordination or collaboration between, in your institutional parlance, you have technology institutes, you have law schools, you have business schools, correct? Now, if we were to create and offer them the opportunity to collaborate with anybody in any of the schools, to come up with ideas which can be tested in the market. By market, I mean even government is a market. Regulators are also a market. They also want to know how to move forward in life. Just in case you guys don't know about this, that some of the largest consulting firms in India actually have their customers as the government of India, by the way. You should know this. Okay? So sir, their ability to work across schools in teams which will be cross-institutional in the sense of specializations. Number one. That's my view. Second, Viksit Bharat, I think today, I don't know you guys know about this, they are giving out, I think, 50 lakhs for anybody and everybody who has a project which can be implemented for market testing, which the government is doing. I don't know whether you guys know this. And that is easily accessible to all of you. So you should, while you are completing your education here, form these groups which are across your various schools, test your product or your service idea, bring technology in while you do the business angle, be legally compliant in whatever you're doing. And I think that will lead to a lot of, in my view, it will lead to a lot of change in the kind of contributions they will make to themselves first, and obviously to a Bharat which will become Dixit as we go on. Thank you very much for this wonderful question. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Now, may I please invite the chairperson, ICFAI Society, Madam Srimati Shobharani Yasaswy Garu, to present a token of our appreciation to the esteemed chief guest. I also request our Vice Chancellor to kindly join Madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you all. I now request our registrar, Professor Vijayalakshmi Garu, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
On behalf of ICFAI Foundation for Higher Education, I, Dr. S. Vijayalakshmi, Registrar, with immense joy and gratitude, stand before you on this momentous occasion to propose the vote of thanks on the 14th NJ Yasaswy Memorial Lecture. At the outset, with profound respect and reverence, we remember NJ Yasaswy sir, a global mentor, an institutional builder, a visionary who contributed significantly to the nation's economy, and a torchbearer for students, staff, faculty across the vast academic empire he built with dedication and integrity. With gratitude in our hearts, I would like to recall a beautiful thought. The best and the most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even be touched. They must be felt with the heart. Sir's presence may not be visible to us today, but his vision, values, and spirit are deeply felt in every corner of this institution. His legacy continues to guide us forward. We express our deep sense of gratitude to our Honorable Chancellor, Dr. C. Rangarajan, for his visionary leadership and constant guidance. Thank you, sir, for strengthening the academic and ethical foundations of this great institution. Our sincere thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor in charge, Thamma Kodreddy Garu, for his continuous encouragement and steadfast support. Thank you, sir. We are profoundly grateful to our esteemed chief guest, Professor S. Raghunath Garu, Chairman, Academy of International Business, South Asia Chapter, and former Dean, Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, for delivering such an inspiring memorial lecture. Sir, your reflections on NJY, sir, touched every one of us. You reminded us that he was not merely the founder of ICFAI Group, but an institutional builder in the truest sense, a visionary who imagined possibilities where none seemed to exist and pursued them with discipline, courage, and relentless commitment. You beautifully articulated that organizations are everywhere, but institutions are rare. Institutions are defined not merely by structures, but by purpose, culture, and credibility. They create impact across generations. True vision is that which is not a fantasy, it is informed foresight. Ethical leadership is not a slogan, but it is a daily practice. Trust is the most valuable asset any institution possesses. Students join and faculty contribute because of that trust only. I am stopping for 1 second. Proudly we can say that when we joined, especially my batch joined in 2001, our students are there. They are almost in 40s, 45s, and we are proud to teach their children. So almost we are fulfilling such dream to a certain extent. As you rightly said, some leaders create success for themselves, but some create success for organizations. But a rare few create success for institutions and generations. May each one of us carry forward the spirit of NJY, sir, and continue to build ICFAI as an institution that nurtures success for generations to generations. We extend our heartfelt thanks to Madam N. Shobarani Yasaswy, Chairperson ICFAI Group, for your gracious presence today. Ma'am, your simplicity and dignified presence truly reflect the enduring values of NJY, sir. Through you, we feel his blessings and guidance continue to remain with us. Thank you so much, ma'am. We also express our sincere gratitude to V.R. Shankara Garu, President, ICFAI Society, for your unwavering support and impactful yet silent leadership. Your guidance stands as a torchbearer for all of us in shaping ICFAI into a great and enduring institution. Thank you so much, sir. I extend wholehearted thanks to Professor J. Mahendra Reddy Garu, former Vice Chancellor, IFHE, and Distinguished Advisor, ICFAI Society, for building a great spirit in all of us throughout. Thank you so much, sir. We want to extend our gratitude to Sri O.R.S. Rao Garu, Chancellor, Sikkim University, for his constant support and guidance and for your gracious presence today. Thank you, sir. We want to extend our gratitude to Sri T.P. Das Garu, Advisor ICFAI Group, for his constant and enduring and gracious presence today. Thank you so much, sir. I take this opportunity to thank all our directors, deans, heads of departments, esteemed colleagues, and support staff for their collective effort in making this event a grand success. Our sincere appreciation goes to the entire administration team for their round-the-clock coordination and meticulous planning and execution. Thanks to all of you. We also express our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Indranil, Joint Registrar, for his constant support and dedication in organizing this event. Thank you, Indranil Garu. We also express our heartfelt thanks to Madam Srimati Lakshmi Prasanna and her entire team for their timely and wholehearted support in making this event a memorable one. Thanks to that team. Our special thanks to the media, press, and thank you for being with us and helping us share this meaningful occasion with a wider audience. Special thanks to Sudhakar Rao Garu and to SumanTV, especially for giving us live streaming to this event. Thank you so much. And finally, to all our dear students, special round of applause to all of you who are present here today. We are immensely proud of you. You are the future leaders and entrepreneurs of our nation. As you step into new beginnings, carry forward the values, the knowledge, the integrity, and the spirit of entire ICFAI group. Always remember, this institution will continue to take pride in your achievements and remain a part of your journey. Thank you one and all. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request everybody to rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I request everyone to stay back for a group photograph. I request everyone to please stay for the group photo. On behalf of ICFAI Foundation for Higher Education, we thank you for being a part of this commemorative lecture. You may now disperse. We wish you a very good day. Thank you so much. Kindly exit the auditorium quietly. This is to the students.